I was recently called a bigoted man because I actually said that homosexuality was a sin, and that a person who lives according to that lifestyle is going to bring to themselves the consequences of spiritual death. All right, how about we start this video off by just simply stating the obvious? The devil hates you. He hates your guts. He hates my guts. He hates all of us. He hates mankind, and he wants to do absolutely everything that he can to completely destroy you. He wants to destroy me. He wants to destroy your family. If he could have it his way, he would not only destroy you, but while you were down, he would keep kicking you until you're permanently disabled, and then, quite frankly, he would darn near set you on fire. And that's actually literal, because he wants you to go to hell where he's going to go one day. Now, that's a pretty graphic picture to draw, but let me just explain something to you. The very moment you recognize that reality, the very moment you understand just how bad it is and just how badly the devil wants to destroy you, just how badly he wants to disable you and completely render you in a place of hopelessness, then you will recognize that he deploys some of the smartest tactics out there to get you to that place. And perhaps the most effective tactic that he utilizes is the one that gets you to think that there is no battle out there in the first place, and the one that gets you so distracted that you begin to focus on the wrong things. And while focusing on the wrong things, you take your eyes off the main thing. And in taking your eyes off the main thing, you die. That's exactly what he does. It's what he's good at doing, and it is precisely what he wants to do with you. He wants to get you so focused on every crazy thing that's out there. He wants you to focus on the smaller details. He wants you to focus on the little things that are kind of gnatting away at you, that are bothering you. He wants to get you focused on the smaller points of, yes, even righteousness. He actually wants you to think that everything is okay because you keep to maybe these small rules when the bigger rules are being completely ignored. We're seeing this happening right now by the capitulation to the alphabet mafia of many Christians who actually think they're doing a spiritual thing and a non-bigoted thing by actually accepting the nonsense that continues to be used by the enemy to exploit our children. And the reality of it is, we need to stop. We need to pause. We need to take a moment to focus on the tactics that the enemy deploys, recognize that what we are facing here is a spiritual battle, and the moment we are able to see it will be the very moment we are able to effectively fight it, and the very moment we begin to engage in that battle appropriately will be the beginning of victory. The problem is, Christians don't like going there because it's uncomfortable, and being uncomfortable doesn't feel good, and when it doesn't feel good to them, it doesn't feel right, because that's the lie that the enemy has taught them. I could give you a perfect example of this. I was recently called a bigoted man because I actually said that homosexuality was a sin, and that a person who lives according to that lifestyle is going to bring to themselves the consequences of spiritual death. I was told that I hated that community. Well, that's an uncomfortable thing to hear. Quite frankly, it's a painful thing to hear, and the average person might hear that and go, "Oh, I'm so sorry," because they don't want to deal with the lack of comfort that comes from the engagement of spiritual war. But I would much rather be uncomfortable, be called a bigoted man or be called a bigot, and actually stand up for the truth and save some lives than be called the most loving and accepting man on the face of the earth and watch my dear friends go to hell. Yeah, I stand up for these things because I love the people that I am standing against because of the sin. I absolutely hate homosexuality because homosexuality takes lives. Homosexuality kills people. The people that it kills are the people that I love. So I speak about those things because I love them. Now, this doesn't just apply to homosexuality. This applies to fornication. This applies to every other kind of sin that you can think about. And the reality of it is, folks, we are distracted. And that distracted nonsense is going to destroy us if we don't wake up and acknowledge the truth. It's that simple. Today, by the way, we're going to talk about that. If you are watching this the day it was released, it's Sunday morning, and we are about to discuss this issue and what Jesus said about it when he addressed the Pharisees. And actually, he was addressing the crowd, but talking about the Pharisees, and what he has to say is profoundly life-changing. I'm going to attach it to this video if you're watching YouTube. Hope that you guys will watch it. It's a great Bible study. Hopefully, you will be ministered to. It's an important one. Pay attention to it. Why? Because your very life depends on it.